Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is April 27, 2022. Sun in Taurus and a waning crescent moon in Pisces, making ingress to Aries this morning. We express ourselves when we use our physical resources to reinforce security in our lives as our inner life transitions from a playful vibe to a more assertive one. The waning crescent moon points our actions in the direction continuously of decrease, simplifying our lives by releasing attitudes and dispositions that are getting in our way, letting go of ideals that no longer serve us, and pushing out the stuff that is weighing us down. Uranus and Mercury are also in Taurus at this time. Our foundations have been shifting, and they continue to do so. They become a bigger part of the general conversation here. Specifically, we're focused on having what we need to thrive and making plans to garner those resources based on the changes we perceive. Okay, I'm going to get right into the aspects, but first I will point out the handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols on the page have made it into the key. If you desire a point of reference, it is right here. I've otherwise divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is your relationship with yourself, what it feels like for you to be in your body, heart, and mind, and in your home. The transits and aspects the moon makes are all very brief, and they have a subtle impact on those things you think, feel, know, and intuit, but may choose whether to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is the outward expression of yourself in the world, specifically in your work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the rest of the planet's movements on this side because they have a greater influence on that outward expression. And we begin on the moon side today at 6:07 a.m. Central Standard Time, friends. Moon in Pisces goes conjunct to Jupiter. They're both sitting there in Pisces. Cancer, Sagittarius, Pisces. This is a good time to really appreciate the feelings of joy and satisfaction that are coming up for us. Then at 6:35, not even a half an hour later, Moon goes sextile to Mercury, which is also in Pisces at this time. Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, Pisces. This is a very social vibe where we want to be in good company and talk about what's going on in our lives. Taken together, these two aspects kick off our day with positivity and social grace. Take advantage of these vibes, especially between the hours of 6 and 8:30 a.m. At 8:36 this morning, a void of course moon, so that's a void of course moon, goes sextile to Pluto, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, most likely to notice this one. This is the moon's last aspect in the sign of Pisces before transitioning into Aries. It's a good time to pause and reflect on whatever deep feelings or intense energies may be coming up for us. That sextile aspect there provides cooperation. So whatever it is that we're feeling deeply or understanding on a deeper level, it might actually work to our benefit. Our void of course period today is about 2.5 hours. And this is a great time to engage in journaling, meditation, or other intuitive practices that help us to be in good dialogue with ourselves and with spirit about the changes we're going through. And then at 11:10 this morning, the moon will make ingress to Aries. Moon in Aries is the beginning of the lunar cycle. We start with the self and we move out from there. Moon in Aries makes us bold, courageous, and ready to act on whatever it is that our hearts desire at the moment. On the sun side today, Venus goes conjunct to Neptune at 2:11 this afternoon. Hard to believe all of this happens between 6 o'clock and 3 o'clock, really. So Venus conjunct Neptune, Taurus, Libra, and Pisces, I would say, are most likely to notice this. This aspect is with us just through tomorrow, here for a couple of days, for you to take a look at an existing relationship and notice what more it could be. We have the capacity to make deeper, compassionate bonds with someone who is already in our lives at this time. In the ongoing column, Mercury sextile with Neptune will be with us through the 29th, so just a couple of days more. This aspect may find us in a more spiritual or creative mindset. Your plans and conversations regarding your connection to spirit and your dreams of self-expression are likely to bear good fruit at this time. Mercury square Saturn is with us through May 1st. And this brings up some requirement of mental labor with some challenges to communicating what we're working on without facing negative feedback. Sometimes, we've been going through this period of sort of expanding our idea of what it is that we need and desire in order to feel supported and fulfilled. And sometimes, obviously, it's just going to take some mental labor to put things in place. If you're creating a plan, or if you're making things go, then some mental work is required. And especially if it's like a big change you're trying to make, if you're trying really to upgrade your life in some way that the people that you normally turn to for, rely on for support and validation, maybe they're seeing that goal or that, aim of your life as sort of like, oh, I'm not sure why you're doing that. That doesn't seem very good, or it doesn't seem like it's going to work out for you. So we don't want to listen to the negative vibes of people right now. We've got this expanded idea of what we want for ourselves, and we really want to put that plan in place. So at this time, through the 1st of May, it's probably a good idea to keep some of what it is that we're working on to ourselves. If we think we're going to face negative perspectives from people who care about us and that's going to be discouraging for us, then it's better just to sort of keep it to yourself, do the work on the thing that you're trying to do, and then make the big reveal when it's all done, right? So that's Mercury square Saturn. Mercury sextile Venus will be with us through the 11th of May. And this is giving us positive cooperative vibes between the intellect and our ability to attract what we need and desire. Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Libra have ruling planets here. At this time, we're empowered to negotiate the terms by which we receive attention, affection, compensation. I encourage us all to take advantage of the energetic opportunity, especially with Jupiter and Neptune conjunct has just left us. Those vibes are still very much with us. We had our hearts and minds blown open. We have a bigger, better idea of who and what we can be, do, and have. And so now is the time to be having the conversations like these. These are the terms by which I will keep doing what I'm doing, or these are the terms by which I need to be able to, step up to the next level of my performance. Mercury sextile Jupiter will be with us just over a month until May 28th. This is a beautiful aspect, friends. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces may be most likely to notice it. This provides us a cooperative vibe between the intellect and our sense of expansion. So we're thinking about how much we can grow. This is prime time to visualize and begin to plan for your expanded future. Again, that sextile is a very cooperative vibration. These planets are working together for your benefit. And I want to remind you all, just for a few more days now, actually, everybody is in forward motion. There are no retrograde planets in there sort of mucking up the deal or making things, a little more difficult to negotiate, or, having to do more inner work than outer work in order to get the same, the outcome we're looking for. It's really very straightforward. Everybody is functioning the way that they should be in terms of the planets, and then there are a lot of really positive aspects happening at this time. So a lot of very positive one, and a lot of conjunct, which is very intense. So the intensification of the feelings around all the things that we're doing, the conversations we're having, how we receive things, our sense of initiative, how we express things, how we feel about them on the inside. It can all be a little more intense, and there's a lot going on. So if you feel like it's very intense, especially this desire to have conversations and make plans, Mercury, 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 you're not alone. And have the conversations, or, as as the case may be, maybe keep some of the stuff to yourself. If you're worried about running into negativity from your mom, maybe just don't let her know what your plan is yet, right? Okay, tomorrow, Mercury makes a trine with Pluto, so more Mercury action. This will last a couple of weeks, bringing ideal functioning to our thoughts and conversations about the transformations we are undergoing. So that's another beautiful aspect that'll be working together with Mercury sextile Jupiter to really help us not just make the expanded plan, but visualize where the endings and the beginnings go in that plan so that you can have an idea what's coming up for yourself. Pluto kicks off our retrograde season this year on Friday, and Mercury will make ingress to Gemini the same day. So Gemini is Mercury's home planet. It should be very highly functioning, and there'll be a lot of conversation and talkativeness and planning going on at that time. And then we'll see the new moon in Taurus next Saturday when we begin to plan for the future. And it just came to my attention, like I've been seeing this over and over again, but for some reasons these things pass me by a little bit, these little details. Not that it's a small detail. That day of the new moon in Taurus, we will also have a solar eclipse. Solar eclipses only happen during new moons. The moon is going to ride right up between us and the sun from a certain perspective. We will be able to see it in North America. So, check it out, talk to the search browser or whatever about when and how you can attend and pay attention to the solar eclipse, of course, without looking directly at it. And then next Sunday begins solar Beltane. This is the midpoint celebration between spring equinox and summer solstice, when things really begin to heat up. It's kind of like the end of spring, the second half of spring, or the first half of summer, because they blend from one to the next, don't they? Okay, friends, that's it for today's astrology. Thank you all so much for being here. Please like my video, subscribe, click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. And friends, I truly do appreciate it when you comment, ask questions, and provide encouragement. I see you doing it. I appreciate the heck out of you for it. And it isn't just gratifying for me to know that you're listening, but it lets YouTube know that you're engaged in the content, and that helps out a lot as well. Also, if you know anyone for whom this guidance may resonate, I encourage you to share, because sharing is caring. Now I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about Tarot as it relates to astrology today. First, I will discuss the Tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll do a quick rundown of today's astrology before throwing a random card that hopefully speaks to today's energies. So let's go ahead and get into that. The Tarot card that sits on the side of the page right now is the Five of Pentacles. We get Pentacles because Taurus is an earth sign, and Pentacles are the earth of the Tarot. So when we talk about elements, earth is about the physical resources that you have. This can be your wealth and finances. This can be your possessions, like your house and your car. And it's also about the condition that your body is in, how your bodily health is going. So when we talk about Pentacles, again, physical resources, this Five of Pentacles is really about a time in our lives when we feel a lack. We notice that we are in need, or we are insecure that we might become in need soon. We're experiencing some sort of poverty, right? So the two people on this card, one of them is running around on crutches, and then the other one is sort of looks like walking through the snow without shoes on their feet. And what they're doing, is that they're passing right by a church or some sort of institution, a building that is made out of resources, made out of stone or blocks or brick, right? And, this entity that they seem to be unaware of is, sort of shining the light of Pentacles, like, here are your resources, they're right here, right? So sometimes, when we find ourselves in a moment of need, we have to sort of remember that there are resources available to us and go to the appropriate place, the appropriate entity, person, institution, and ask them for what it is that we need. There are enough resources. There's enough, food and clothing and air and water for everybody. Okay, so if you're going without something that you need, like shoes on your feet in the wintertime, don't lose your feet because you weren't willing to ask for help, is sort of the warning there. Okay, and with that said, I'm going to go ahead and remind myself and the cards while I mix up my cards that the sun is in Taurus. And sun in Taurus is a time of like really putting down roots and feeling the strength of our growth in our physical body, and the strength of the growth of the seeds that we've planted, the things that we have put into the earth, both, sort of literally and figuratively. So it's about drawing in resources so that we can grow as strong as possible. And, that's very much a vibration you can see out in the natural world. You can see the leaves have really come out on the trees now, and different flowers are starting to bloom than the ones that were before. So, here we are in the middle of the spring. Everything is really coming to life, and it feels very good to be in a body with your feet on the earth. The moon is a waning crescent in Pisces, making ingress to Aries this morning sometime, sort of late this morning. And so Moon in Pisces, very end of a cycle, creative, reflective vibe. Moon in Aries, a little more feeling assertive, energetic, and ready to go. So if you feel like a switch gets flipped from feeling somewhat I wouldn't say lazy, but laid back, to feeling like, no, I've got to get this stuff done. That would be a normal aspect of the moon shifting from Pisces to Aries. And, that waning crescent is still the time to be letting go. On the sun side of the page, we have all of this Mercury action happening. If you could look at a chart right now, you would see that most of the planets are really just clustered on one side, clustered on one side of the wheel. And so when Mercury is a fast one, Mercury goes around really only every couple of weeks. And when Mercury starts to make aspects with these planets, because they're all sort of clustered together from our point of view, then you're going to see aspect after aspect after aspect. And that's like Mercury meeting up with these different planets in different ways, saying, okay, then this is what we have to talk about, and this is what we have to think about, and this is what we have to plan for. This is about the day-to-day actions, the things that we do on a daily basis, our practices to get us closer to our goals. So, we're talking about what we want to do in terms of making creations or connecting spiritually or connecting with the rest of humanity. We're doing this mental labor about the actual work we're going to have to do to make the changes, the expanded changes we see for ourselves. We're talking about the terms by which we would like to receive. That means, if we need more, we need to be asking for more. And we're also thinking about a bigger plan for ourselves at this time. Hopefully you are. I know that I am. And then Venus conjunct Neptune comes in. It's just here today and tomorrow, but it's a very heart open, loving, squishy, romantic vibration. Venus conjunct Pisces. Okay, it can be a very sexy time. It can be a very fertile time. It can be very creative in terms of what it is we like to receive. So put your best foot forward there. And the guidance I received when I was thinking on this was that, we have these existing relationships. Venus is about our relationship to those things we like, love, and can't get enough of. So we have these existing relationships, and we're conjunct with the sense of connection with others. So we can actually grow closer to somebody. A friend could become a romantic partner, or a friend could become a business partner, or someone that we don't know very well could become a good friend, that kind of thing. Like things might step up in a personal relationship. And then on the moon side, I mean, I see mostly very positive stuff going on. With this great start to the day with feeling our expansion and our generosity, feeling very satisfied about what we have and how things are growing. Feeling talkative and social, so it's a great way to start off the day. Just like, hey, I have what I need. I have what I need. It's coming to me, and I'm really willing to have conversations with people about about how things are expanding and growing for me and how they can expand and grow for us all. Moon sextile Pluto. Often there's a aspect with Pluto before we change into the next sign. And, this is the time to reflect. It's the time to feel the feelings about the thing, or notice your intuitions, your recall, whatever it is that's coming up from deep inside. Work with it, and it can bring you good understanding and good realizations. You have a 2.5 hour void of course here. This is a great time to get into your intuitive and creative practices if you have time at that hour. And then, Moon makes ingress to Aries, and we become very action-oriented, bold, cooperative, and competitive. This is a 2-day transit right here. 2.5 days. And with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and throw this card. We have the Knight of Pentacles. I think we've had this recently with a different deck. Okay, so first I'm going to say Pentacles and Pentacles, right? We've got Earth and Earth vibes. So this is about poverty, lack, the need to ask for help. This is not a person who is experiencing poverty or lack, nor do they need to ask for help. In fact, they are here to help. Like the Knight comes to the rescue, correct? Okay, and this Knight shows up bearing pentacles, bearing physical resources, whether that's money or they've got a good strong body and they can help you move the thing that you need to move, whatever the resource is. This is a person who has good resources and is capable of sharing. So I think this is great. If it's you and you are capable of sharing, please find a way to do that. That's the advice here. But also, it's a reminder that help is available, okay? There are resources. There are enough resources for everyone. It's not just institutions that can share. If you're shy about going to church to ask for food or money for your gas bill or whatever it is that you're coming up short on, shoes so you don't walk around in the snow, right? If you're shy about that, turn to somebody that that has the resources. If you know one person who could give you $20 to buy a pair of shoes so that you're not walking around in the snow in your bare feet, I'll bet they would do it for you. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about that today, friends. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your presence. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more astrology today.